Hi there, these comments are for JTV, and I am Michael, the founder owner and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-Step System to Pass a TOEFL IBT. Happy holidays to you, sir, and have a very Merry Christmas coming up here in a few weeks. Okay, you did the post-test in my course, so I'm going to listen to what you're submitting here, give you some final comments on your overall pronunciation, including vowel and consonant sounds. Also, give you some feedback in terms of syllable division and grammatical word endings, sentence rhythm, intonation, word stress, and also thought groups and blending. Okay, let's take a look at your response. So you're going through these paragraphs, and I'm going to listen to what you're saying.
Speak clearly, lesson 48.
All right.
Diagnostic post-test. Part A. Reading passage 1.
Okay.
When two people are talking to each other,
When they're talking to each other,
they tend to stand a specific distance apart. Each person has an invisible boundary around his or her body into which other people may not come.
now you're grouping your ideas into thought groups, which is good, but you're speaking a little bit too slowly. You have to pick up your pace.
If someone pierces this boundary, she or he will feel uncomfortable and move away to increase the distance between them.
And you want to say, and move away to increase the distance between them.
The major exception is family members and other loved ones. This personal distance is not due to body odor or bad breath, but because closeness lends a sense of intimacy that is at odds with the relationship.
You want to say intimacy, not inte, but intimacy.
To the other individual.
Okay, let me write this down here. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, let's go to the next paragraph.
Reading passage 2. Interestingly, the average personal distance varies from culture to culture. Americans tend to require more personal space than in other cultures. Therefore, if you try to get too close to an American during your conversation, he or she will feel that you are in his face and will try to back away.
And we'll try to back away.
Try to be aware of this, so if the person to whom you are speaking backs away a little, don't try to close the gap.
Okay, not bad.
Reading passage 3. Also try to avoid physical contact while you are speaking.
A couple words in there, the V and the T consonant sounds. So I'm going to make notes here. So this one is try to avoid physical contact. Contact.
Since this may also lead to discomfort. Touching is a bit too intimate for...
Pronounce that T with a little bit more air. Touching. Touching is a bit too intimate.
Casual acquaintances.
Casual acquaintances.
So don't put your arm around his or her shoulder. Don't touch his or her face or hold his or her hand. Shaking hands when you initially meet or part is acceptable, but this is only momentary.
Okay. Now, one of the things when you're speaking, your intonation, you have a tendency to use a monotone voice without any highs and you're kind of staying in a lower pitch area. So you have to make some variations or some changes in your intonation. I think this is going to help you to speak more naturally. It'll make it a little easier, I think, for your audience to understand what you're saying. I know that you're giving all kinds of sermons and speeches and presentations, and you're dealing and talking, I think, with people pretty much every day, all week long. So if you can work on that intonation, it will make an impact on your overall speaking abilities of American English. And you can learn more about intonation by going to the pronunciation lessons 36 through 40.
Who is your best friend? Why is this person important to you?
Okay.
Use supporting examples. Father Benny is my best friend. He is important because, first of all, we feel the freedom and trust in each other to share our life struggles as well as our plans and goals.
All right.
And we have already a history of supporting each other a lot in our life struggles.
Okay.
We were together in the Philippines from India for our religious and priestly formation, sharing and facing together a culture other than our own, as well as the struggles during our priestly formation.
Okay.
Both of us faced our own times when our applications were rejected to become religious and priests. We also come from the same diocese in India.
When we became religious, let me check your language use here. Hold on.
Both of us faced our own times when our applications were rejected to become religious and priests.
I would say to become religious priests. You don't just say to become religious and priests, because religious is an adjective there, so you want to put the noun directly after that word. So when we became religious priests.
We also come from the same diocese in India, knowing the families of each other better, and we share a lot the family struggles too. And both of us are serving in the US now, and again sharing the similar struggles together. That is why Father Benny is my best friend, and this friendship is very important for me.
Wow. Very nicely put. Very strong organization and supporting details in there. You have good control of your vocabulary and your grammar, no doubt.
Second interview question. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? What will you be doing? Be sure to explain your ideas with supporting details.
Okay.
I see myself serving still in the Diocese of San Bernardino 5 years from now.
Okay.
Now I am only an assistant parish priest, as I am only 2 years in this diocese as well as in the US. And there are a lot I need to learn and familiar with.
Now let me check there. Your grammar.
Serving still in the Diocese of San Bernardino 5 years from now. Now I am only an assistant parish priest, as I am only 2 years.
I'm just checking. You said there are a lot. I need to just make sure you have good subject-verb agreement there.
In this diocese as well as in the US.
Okay.
And there are a lot I need to learn and familiar with.
There are a lot I need to learn. There is a lot, or there are a lot of things I need to learn, you might say. You're kind of implying the subject there. So there are a lot of things I need to learn.
But after 5 years, I might be a parish priest in charge of a parish and more experienced in San Bernardino context of life and ministries. Knowing more the culture and
there was a little bit of trouble with some pronunciation there. Hold on.
Experience in San Bernardino context of life and ministry.
That's what I'm talking about right there. That name that you're saying, I'm having some trouble understanding that. I'll be honest with you. And listen to it one more time.
In charge of a parish and more experienced in San Bernardino context of life and ministries.
The San Bernardino context of life and ministries. It's that second word there. I'm not exactly sure what you're saying.
Knowing more the culture and people. Second, I will be more expert in serving in
I would say I will be more of an expert. An expert put stress on the first syllable, not the second. So I will be more of an expert, or I will be more experienced in. So you had a word stress issue there and some problems with your grammar.
Multilingual and multicultural context. As in my parish, we have 72%
Context.
Latinos. And we have also Afro-Americans, Asians,
Americans, not Americans, but Americans.
as well as Europeans.
As well as Europeans. So you do have some word stress issues. Let me write this down so I can, because of my final assessment here, I'll give you some general tips on a few things. Okay, let's continue.
Question number 3. What is your favorite season of the year? Fall, winter?
Now here's what I would do there. This is where you got to work on your tone, right? So if you look at this sentence here, right after the year you have a colon. It means that your pitch here should be really a little bit higher. And then it's higher on fall, winter, spring, or summer. When you get to summer, even though this is a question, it's a WH question, so your tone should actually drop when you get to the end. So then when you read it, you would say this. What is your favorite season of the year? Fall, winter, spring, or summer? Be as specific as possible.
Winter, spring, or summer. Be as specific as possible.
Specific.
My favorite season is summer. First of all, I can go home for my annual vacation during that time and meet my family members and friends there. And it is a very comfortable climate in my place in India. Second, I am not comfortable with the cold winter when I will have so much pain in my
You will say the cold winter.
body.
When I have so much pain, you need to pronounce that P with a little bit more air. You've been working on that. You're doing a good job on your P consonant sounds, but every now and then I have to remind you.
Especially in my joints. But during
Especially my joints. Joints.
summer, physically I am very comfortable and I can just place the air condition depending on the temperature that I need. And I can just place the air condition depending on the temperature.
I would say I can set the air conditioner at the temperature with which I am most comfortable. That's how I would say that. So you had some language use issues, I think, with that idea.
That I need. Third, it is during summertime that
Let me check this. Just one more. Your pronunciation of the TH sound. Hold on.
as well as Europeans. It is a very comfortable climate in my place in India. Second, I am not comfortable with the cold. Just place the air condition depending on the temperature that I need. Third, it is due.
Third. Not bad. You're getting it. So you have third.
In summertime that I could stay more in the open air under the trees and breathe more the fresh air.
Okay.
And do a lot of walking exercises in the open air, and it is very good for my health.
Okay, it's very good.
Fourth,
Good.
since most of the people go
The first, second, third, or fourth, that is an excellent way to structure your ideas. It makes it very easy for me to understand everything that you're saying. So the good thing is, I like how you organize and how you're developing your responses. If I put the pronunciation areas aside, you just look at your performance and how you're organizing your ideas, you're doing a good job with that. So I'm sure your parishioners are very happy to have someone who's organized like you
for
are.
vacations during summer. It is a time when there will be less ministries and more free times for me in the parish.
Okay. Not bad. Okay, so we got a lot of things going on right now. Okay, so one of the questions that we need to resolve right now is, what is your intelligibility score right now on a scale of 1 to 7, 7 being a native speaker of American English and 1 being a beginner speaker of American English? Where do you rank? And that's what I want to tell you right now. I will include a link to what I call my intelligibility scale. So you're actually in pretty good shape here. I mean, I'm going to put you in the higher intermediate area. I'm going to put you at about 4.8 out of 7. So if you look in the 4 area, we have the student has obvious accent and pronunciation variations, but these do not interfere with understanding and are rarely distracting. The student uses a variety of grammatical structures with occasional grammatical errors. You can respond to questions with sustained and connected discourse, and you use varied vocabulary. So my goal is to help you get either 5 or 6. You're almost there, almost. More practice, right? And you definitely get there. Now, the next question, now you know your intelligibility score. The next question is, what are some specific lessons that you still need to work on based on your existing or present speaking and pronunciation issues of American English, right? So I'm going to look at a few things here. I think you still need practice with Speak Clearly lesson number 11, the E and the I. You're having a little bit of trouble with the I vowel sound. This is still something that you need to keep working on. Speak Clearly lesson number 14, the V, van. You still can work on that sound a little bit. Another one is Speak Clearly lesson number 19. You understand and you're pronouncing the P correctly most of the time, but I think you can still continue working on your P consonant sound. And then one more is Speak Clearly lesson number 23 is the T, tip. You can still work on the T consonant sound. And believe it or not, you've pretty much mastered the TH sound. I know you've worked very hard on that. So those are some of my recommendations based on the post-test. I think based on what you did, syllable division, grammatical word endings, you're fine. Word stress, I pointed out, you did have some problems with word stress, so you can study lessons number 29, 30, 31, and 32. I think that will be useful for you. The biggest issue probably is intonation, lessons number 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. Parts 1 through 5. You really need to work on this one. The key here is you need to work on varying your intonation more than you are. So I think that would definitely help you continue to improve your pronunciation. And then finally, thought groups and blending, 41, 42, 43, and 44. You can work both on your thought groups and then on your blending. So with your thought groups, you have a tendency, instead of grouping 4 or 5 stress words together, you're maybe doing 3 or 4. So you need to work on making your thought groups a little bit longer and then also grouping together the words within the thought group by blending those sounds. So you can improve in those areas also. And those are some of my comments. So I just want to thank you. It's been great having you as a student. I'm going to talk to Dr. Medina probably next week at some point, and I think we will continue. You guys, if you want, you can continue to use my course on an ongoing basis. I will continue to give you speaking and pronunciation feedback or any other feedback that you think you need regarding your English abilities. All right, so again, thank you for completing the post-test. I've enjoyed having you as a student, and happy holidays to you, and have a very Merry Christmas indeed.